My name is Amy, and I am a 40-year-old mother of 3 children, and I have been a type 1 diabetic since my early 20s. Why am I doing this video blog? Well, the reason I am is because I came across a video on YouTube the other day by a woman named Claire, who is also a type 1 diabetic, and she has adopted the 80-10-10 raw vegan lifestyle, and I too am doing the same thing. I realized that I wanted to connect with other people who are interested in curing type 1 diabetes, the 80-10-10 raw vegan way of eating, and who have families, children, so that we could all possibly help and support each other. And how did I discover the 80-10-10 raw vegan lifestyle? Well, I think it was in the summer of 2009. I came across a documentary called Raw for 30 Days. And I just had such a strong interest in raw vegan eating in terms of dealing with diabetes. So I came across a woman by the name of Ellen Livingston. Her website is livingyoganow.com, and I saw Ellen giving a talk at the Red Pepper Deli one weekend, and that's where I first came across the 80-10-10 raw vegan diet. Okay, so where am I now? I've been a pumper for about, it's been probably a good 15 years now, and I, for a very long time, have really kind of been in denial that I have diabetes. Part of it is me just, being a typical mom, taking care of everybody else around me before I take care of myself. And the other reason was I've always had, I've always felt pretty much fine without checking my blood sugars regularly and just kind of going by feel. But this really, my HbA1cs have been less than stellar over the past couple of years. They used to be really, really good, and when I went through 2 pregnancies wearing the pump, and I was able to keep my blood sugars in really, really tight control. However, I started slipping over the years and not paying so much attention to myself, and my HbA1cs, while they used to be, in the 5 to 6 range, started creeping up gradually. And after I discovered the 80-10-10 diet, I talked to my doctor about it, and my doctor sort of poo-pooed it, and I ended up switching doctors and found a new doctor. I've been to see her twice, and she has been really actually a little bit more supportive. She doesn't fully know what I'm doing right now, but just has brought some new advances to my attention. I'm much, much happier. I'm glad I made the switch. So the other thing I wanted to mention was because I live in Detroit, I've had the privilege of seeing Dr. Graham, the author of the 80-10-10 diet, here because Ellen Livingston, who I have done some classes with here locally in Ann Arbor, is a student of his. She is a client of his, and she's now, I think, my role model in doing this. She has overcome a lot, and she's an amazing, amazing person. And I've been lucky enough to learn a lot from her so far. But she was the one who facilitated bringing Dr. Graham here to Michigan twice this year. So I just last weekend went to his seminars here, and it was like a light bulb went off in my head. On Saturday, I asked him a simple question about being diabetic and type 1 diabetes, and he answered it in a way that just made me realize that I have to do this. That that there's a high likelihood that I can get off insulin. That my pancreas may very well still produce insulin, and eating this way, I really don't need to take as much insulin as I do following the traditional standard American or as many people call it, the SAD diet. I have already experienced that in the past 5 days, which I've just, that light bulb went off in my head, and I went gung-ho doing 80-10-10, following it perfectly and having no desire to eat anything else, going back to my old way at all. So I've seen my blood sugars being absolutely fantastic in the past 5 days. They were actually going very, very low because, of course, I was my pump was actually set to the levels that I was, based on my previous diet, and I was obviously taking too much insulin. I was going quite low, so I've already backed my basal rates down by 25%. And even though I have had my blood sugars have crept up a little bit, I feel better having it that way because I'm nervous about going too low and dropping low. Because I was dropping down into the 40s and 50s in the past couple days by eating mostly fruits and vegetables. So I'd really like to ride a little bit high until I can get everything regulated. So I'm planning on continuing blogging and explaining what I'm going through and talking about my experiences. I'm hoping it will give me incentive for staying the course. And I'm really, my ultimate goal is to make contact with other people who have the same interests, who might be going through the same thing. I am interested in also the following topics and hope that I can address these in future blogs, and that's getting kids to become 80-10-10 raw vegans. My children currently are not. They're following I like to think it's a little bit healthier than the standard American diet. I've always been very aware of trying to keep high fructose corn syrup out of our diet, processed foods, minimizing that. We really don't eat. It's been years. My husband has always just not been interested in eating meat for whatever reason, and we've kind of been pretty much vegetarian for a while. I don't forbid my kids to eat meat. My husband eats meat on occasion. Up until last week, I've still not been able to eliminate seafood from my diet. I haven't had an issue with poultry or red meat, but I really have always loved seafood. So, so far I haven't missed it though. I've really done well eating nothing but fruits and vegetables. So we'll see how that goes, but I would like to address dealing with social situations. That's going to be a big hurdle for me. I'm a pretty social person, and I think that's going to be a big challenge. And also eating for emotional reasons. That's an issue I think a lot of people deal with, and I'm hoping that people out there will have some advice and support, and we can kind of go through all of this together. So I plan to blog as much as I can, as much as I feel the need. I hope that that you can post some feedback and we can help each other through this. Take care. Thanks. And one more quick thing I have to add is, I'm sure you've noticed I'm quite uncomfortable in front of the camera. I'm really not used to this. I'm probably a much, much better writer than I am being here in front of the camera. But I hope you can bear with me because I have no experience whatsoever editing video or posting things to YouTube. So I'm going to do the best I can. And right now I'm going to go enjoy my great snack. I've got some wonderful raw figs and dates. Since my blood sugar is a little low right now, I'm going to eat some dates first and try to boost it up. And then I will enjoy these wonderful, wonderful figs, which I just discovered this past weekend at the Dr. Graham seminar. And they are absolutely delicious. Have a good day. Thanks.